So Shakti is Shakti Kumbh, Shakti. Shakti is power. Shakti for me is also the manifestation of the feminine in its fullness, the goddess energy in its fullness. So Shakti is that's the loose translation. Yajna is a process of engaging, a process of allowing the fires of life, nurturing the fires of life, and offering oneself and one's endeavors in life into this fire. That is yajna. And Shraddham is the name given to the rituals and the processes that one engages in. In this part of the world, we call it Shraddham, which is about healing and honoring our ancestors. So first, let's start off by acknowledging that not necessarily based on gender, but definitely advantage because of the gender, we have greater access to this power of healing. And what is the power of healing? Healing is really making this journey between our human consciousness towards our divine consciousness. The process that we go through while we make this journey is healing. Healing is not fixing. Healing is not correcting at a behavior level. Healing is not going out there and doing something there so that some things start to work better. Healing is going within and making this journey between my identity as a human being and seeking out to reclaim, because it's always there, it's never gone away, but we don't even know, most of us don't even know it exists. So starting with myself as a human, with my human identity, and go on this journey to reclaim my divine identity, my divine consciousness. This journey of going within happens in the presence and with the support of the divine. Let me inform you that a lot of what I'm sharing are my thoughts and my opinions, and I'm not, whatever texts I have read, whatever inputs I've had in my life, it has been processed through my consciousness, and so therefore what I share has my flavor to it. And so I just claim all opinions as entirely mine. I'm not referring to any texts when I'm speaking today. So in my opinion, in my understanding, Shakti, the presence of Shakti, is inherent in any kind of healing process. Because any kind of healing process requires the energy and the capability to be a holder of what is not yet healed, holder of what is not yet whole, and create a space for that kind of a process, hold it, allow the process to complete, and then release, like I said, a transformed version of what came in, while the self is not being lessened in any way. So in holding the space, I am not losing or becoming less in any way, but I build the strength to hold a space for whatever needs to come in and to be processed. For me, that is my interpretation of the presence of Shakti, which is the divine goddess energy. So before we go any further, let me just bring it into the context of ancestral work and say, interestingly, while the patriarchal system that has existed globally for millennia suggests that, at least in our tradition in the past, it has suggested that men are the ones who are legitimately allowed to do these processes of healing and releasing ancestral energies. I just realized, wow, I've been doing Shraddham day by day after day for so many families, and it's so interesting that actually I see that as a work of Shakti, the divine goddess, who has the capacity to create that space, hold that space, allow the process, and then release those energies in a transformed manner. So I think in this gathering today, I personally, for myself, and hopefully maybe some of you can relate to what I'm saying, I want to lay claim to this process of healing as the work of the divine feminine. It might manifest through a man. I'm not talking in genders here. I'm talking about the quality of energy. I want to claim that this is a process that is enabled by the divine feminine, and say all kinds of ancestral work and all kinds of actually healing work is the act of the divine feminine. And any of you here who are already engaged in any form of healing, any form of enabling, any form of holding space for someone else's process to unfold, I would see all of those instances, all of those times, as you being in touch with the divine feminine. And so it's very helpful, once we know it, to consciously invoke the divine feminine before we begin the process.